Yesterday we focused a lot on evaluating expressions. Today we're going to focus more on the writing aspect. So first let's start with numerical expressions without the variables yet. So we have a chart up here, it's a menu, and it says we're going to use a $20 bill to buy lunch at a cafe. So let's complete this table saying, okay, if we bought a Reuben sandwich, we can see that that is $6.45. So if we paid with a $20 bill, our numerical expression would be 20 minus 6 and 45/100. Go ahead and complete that table for the next 3 sandwiches. Here's what my table looks like now. Now on the bottom it says to write an expression for the amount of change you receive when you order any sandwich from the menu board. So if we didn't know what sandwich we were ordering, we could still write an expression by using a variable. So I could say I'm paying with $20 and I'm always going to subtract the cost of the sandwich. I used S, but you could use any variable or letter. X, A, Z, H, totally up to you. All right, I turned the page here and it says to compare the expression you wrote in part B with the expressions in the last column of the table in part A. Well, in part A, we were taking 20 minus the cost of the sandwich, and those were all numerical expressions. Part A, those were numerical expressions in our table. Part B, we said 20 minus S, or whatever variable you chose. So those are algebraic. That's an algebraic expression. So it's algebraic because we used a variable. Okay. Now it says the cafe offers several side dishes. They're all the same price. So you order a chicken salad sandwich and then 2 side dishes. We're going to write an expression for the total amount of money you spend. So if we do this, first of all, we get a chicken salad sandwich. So if we look at the front here, here's the chicken salad sandwich, $4.95. So I'm going to start with that. I'm going to say, well, I know I'm spending $4.95 no matter what. $4.95. But then it says that we order 2 side dishes. So we're also going to get 2, and then we would take the 2 times the cost of a side dish, but we don't know how much the side dish costs. So we would just use a variable, such as D. So this is my chicken salad sandwich plus 2 side dishes. Okay? So now we have this expression, 20 minus 4.65S. This represents the amount of change a customer receives after ordering from the menu board. So we're going to explain what each of these items represents. So we'll start with the 20, then we'll look at the S, and then the 4.65. So the 20. We know that this means the customer must have paid $20. They pay $20 and then subtract what it costs. So the customer paid $20. That's what that would mean here. The S, okay, 20 minus 4.65S, well, that means how many items the person bought, the number of items they ordered. And then lastly, that 4.65, well, that represents the cost of the item, the price per item. So here's how much it costs, and then you multiply that by the number of items you bought. So the 4.65 means that that's the price per item, $4.65. Well, it also asked, do we know what the customer ordered? We don't know what the customer ordered because there's 2 options for the $4.65 price range. All right, so now let's just practice writing algebraic expressions. So here's our variable in this table. We're starting with an n. Here's the phrase, for more than a number. So what we need to do is figure out, okay, so I have a number, and in this case, we're just using n. We don't know what the number is, so we say n. More than, that tells me that I'm going to add, and then for more than, so 4. You could also say 4 plus n. Go ahead and try that on the rest of the table. So we have more than here. This one says the difference is going to be your key word. We have some, less than, farther away, sooner, later, and increased by. Pause the video and fill in the rest of the table. All right, go ahead and check your work on those. So these are all addition or subtraction. The order does matter with subtraction, so pay attention to those. The difference of a number and 3, so number and 3 and minus 3. This one is 10 less than a number, so that means you have the number p, and 10 less than that means you're taking 10 away. All right, let's look at the next one. So these are multiplication or division. This time we're going to match the phrases with the expression, so we're just going to draw lines. So the product of a number and 3, well, that means I'm going to take a number and multiply it by 3. So I can see that over here, n times 3. The quotient of 3 in a number, that means I'm going to take 3 and divide it by a number n. 4 times a number. Remember, when you have a number next to a variable, like this one up here, 4p, that means 4 times that number. So 4 times a number would be that 4p. And then a number divided by 3, so I'm going to take a number, divide by 3, that would be up here. And then the last one, twice a number. If we're taking twice, that means we're going times 2, or multiplying it by 2, so that would be 2m.